What is going on, YouTube? Pass the prop. Back here again. We're ready to roll with some college basketball and NBA today. We got a full slate of both. Joined as always by my guy Stu. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Can't complain. It's been a good little stretch of NBA betting for me, so it's always good when you're winning. I got to take yesterday off because that slate sucked, and I did not want to bet on any of those 4 games that were going on. So, that was fun. Good to get a little break in. But yeah, good slate today. A lot of action. I'm excited to get into it. Talk about it a little bit.
Yeah, there's a loaded slate everywhere. I mean, there's the game started already. Already got plays out for this morning, but we're back here and getting to talk about a sweep from our last show. We've been doing a little bit more of these one play each on some of these shows. I feel like it's been pretty beneficial to us, so we can get to those as we got 10 of you guys in here in the first 90 seconds.
Yeah, I was very happy with this one. Alex Sarr is my biggest bet, honestly, in a little bit at over 20.5 points and rebounds. If you watch this game, boy, was it ugly. He could not make shit. It's the same thing as these last couple games. He's shooting like 15 times a game, but he made like 4 of them. You know what I mean? And a couple free throws in there. But hey, it doesn't have to be pretty to win some money, right? That's not really what matters. He got the double-double, which we talked about at the end of the show as well. So yeah, I was very happy with it, and shout out to Alex Sarr. The problem is just betting on him going forward is tough. Like, man, I don't know, especially when Rashawn Holmes is back in the lineup. But great cash right here, and shout out to Mr. Sarr for getting the job done.
Yeah, I saw you double too. I know you talked about that on the show a little bit as well. I know it didn't have prices out, so hopefully you guys were able to grab that when it opened. I know you talked about it a little bit, but there was nothing out yet. Obviously, that's the price we pay of going early on the show. And I guess here's a reason why it's good, because I played Durant at 31.5 points, rebounds, absolutely nuked this number. Wasn't expecting a Bradley Beal sit, though. We got the late Bradley Beal news, which actually benefited us, even though obviously Durant has just been my dude, man, these last couple of weeks. He's kind of taken over for Cade Cunningham. Because Cade's numbers are through the roof now, which is well-deserved, right? So he's kind of taken over that role here, still playing 39, 40 minutes, man. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I wish he could have got one more rebound. That would have been nice. When I saw like the injury news for the Grizzlies too, I was just slamming his rebounds because like, who's going to get – apparently it was Nick Richards. He got like 14 boards in like 20 minutes or whatever. But, yeah, we cashed a lot on Durant here. I told you pretty big on these. And I even got him live when he was like going into the fourth quarter. His line he only needed like 4 points or 6 points or something like that. And it's like he's going to play the full fourth quarter. Like if you watch Durant at all, he's going to play every minute of this quarter. And he did, and he cashed. So shout out to Durant. It was a very good game for him. It was a good call.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And we're at 27 and 21 now, 6.95 units. I had to make sure I put this in there because I did take half a unit off for Tari Easton. 33 minutes and couldn't get it done, bro. He shot 3 for 13 from the field, 8 rebounds. Yeah, tough matchup, obviously, with Orlando. But, yeah, Paolo Banchero kind of took his lunch, man, and he went kind of crazy in that one. So, shout out Paolo. Obviously, he's a damn good player, and obviously excited for this slate. So, let's get right into it. I know we have a little quicker show on tap today. You got an NBA spot. I got a college basketball spot. But I guess I haven't really looked at the NBA slate. Is there anything you want to talk about from today's slate outside of, obviously, we'll talk about Boston and OKC?
Yeah, I was going to say, surprisingly, a really good slate. I love that game. Obviously, you just mentioned it's, probably one of the better regular season games you can get. But the late slate tonight is awesome because, one, you get Nuggets, Timberwolves, which I look at that. Timberwolves is 4-point dogs. I like that. I think with the way they've been playing right now and the way the Nuggets are still kind of in regular season form, like I think that's a great game. And then 2 teams, I barely bet spreads, but I've been having some good success recently. The Knicks and the Trailblazers cashed both of those 2 teams on Monday. I cannot believe the Trailblazers were 12.5. I don't know if it was you or somebody else.
Yeah, I said 12.5 was ridiculous, dude. I think they lost by 9?
Yeah, it was 9.
Close, man. And they ruled out Denny. Right, they ruled out Denny in that game too.
No, I think he went off. Right, yeah, I think Denny went off. I think it was Grant that got ruled out because I think Denny.
Okay, was he out Sunday then?
Yeah, he was out Sunday. It was his first game back. Yeah, but no, I mean the Trailblazers, they fight for your money, man. And like I bet the Knicks last game. I've really thought that had more to do with the back-to-back and everything and the kind of stylistic matchup. I kind of like the Blazers against the Knicks again tonight. Like looking at, I think if they can make shots, which the Blazers got a lot of different guys. Simons, I was going to bet Simons on the show, but he opened at 22.5 last night, and it's like 25 now, like across the board. It's 24.5. So it's like, I don't really want to pay up like 3 points, you know what I mean? But I'm very excited for the late slate. I think there's going to be some very good stuff in that.
Yeah, I definitely would agree with you on that. Obviously, you guys know how big of a Portland Trailblazer fan I am. I bet them way too much. But they've been good to me. They're just a tough team to bet props on because they have so many like good dudes, right? They're just so many like mid to a little bit better than average players, and you just don't know which one's going to kind of go off. Obviously, when you have a Jeremy Grant out, that helps a lot. Right, when you have Robert Williams out, it helps a lot. But when this team's fully healthy, bro, they're really hard to bet. So,
yeah,
I'm happy that you found that one. Obviously, I'll kick it over to you a little bit more on this OKC Boston game. I know Porzingis questionable. I saw Jalen Williams obviously is out for a while. So it kind of sucks we don't see two teams at full strength in this game, but. I don't know. I kind of want to see Porzingis go against Chet a little bit. I kind of want to see those guys go at it a little. I feel like this kind of just got to be an under game, isn't it? Like we saw it in the first game. I know they didn't shoot that well, but Boston didn't even score 100. We've seen Tatum and Brown just switching off games that they're playing. Like, I don't know. This kind of feels like a game that could be almost too good of defense, a little bit more sloppy offensively.
Yeah, and I would like a full strength Celtics team here. I'd feel pretty good about that. But I mean, like you said, they're playing like whack-a-mole with who's starting every day. And that's mostly because they kind of can. They're good and they're not really fighting right now. And it's mostly against bad teams as well that they can win while sitting one. Like Tatum's technically questionable, but I would imagine he plays. Like it seems like all these sits haven't been like injury related. It's just like, yeah, give the guy. I mean, he's injured, everyone's banged up, but like, I don't know. It seems like he'll probably play. Porzingis. I want to bet Porzingis tonight, man, but the injury stuff with the illness makes it so complicated. Because if you got like a broken bone or a hamstring or something, you rehab it, you come back. There's obviously re-injury risk, but the conclusion is if you're going back, you're probably going to be pretty good. He was talking about fighting some like unknown illness that he doesn't really know what's going on. He's not sure what it is. He's actually been like scratched from a game recently, like a week ago when it looked like he was going to start, and then it got him. So I'm kind of worried if you bet on Porzingis, there's some variance that you could get hit with for sure. If he even plays, he might not even suit up. He's obviously lined on all these sports books, so I know people are going to be betting him. But that would be my concern. It's like a lot of times you can count on a guy to be in a pretty good role when he comes back. I don't know if that's the case. I know it's obviously an important game just because everyone cares. It's, I'm sure national, ESPN game, two best teams in the league. Like, I'm sure people are going to be tuning in, and I'm sure Porzingis wants to play. But that would just be my caution there is, like, I'm kind of worried his minutes are going to get cut a little bit. But very excited for that game. I hope my guy Alex Caruso plays some minutes. I'll be looking at his steal props if they're not too crazy. The only other thing I looked at, I saw props or Ty, we had him on the show recently talk about this. Peyton Pritchard under, I think, is kind of nice because that guy kills every bad team in the league. His stats look so good, but he doesn't actually play insane minutes when everyone's healthy and starting. He's, a sixth man. That's for a reason, right? And the Thunder are like, it's guard hell, like all day long, no matter who you get, whether it's SGA, whether it's Dort, whether it's one of the backups in Kaysen Wallace or Alex Caruso, like you're in hell every single second of that game when you're a guard going against this team, especially a small guard. So I do think it's going to be a tougher game for Pritchard. I think that's probably a pretty sharp look, but very excited for that one. If I had to bet a team, it'd probably be Boston, but we need to see that injury report before I click any buttons,
Yeah, I don't know. Both these teams have kind of been weird in terms of injury reports and kind of late news. So I'm fine with just watching as a fan. And, like I said, I'll probably be pretty late on this NBA slate myself just because obviously I got a lot of college basketball on tap for today. We got games all the way through 11:30 tonight. So, it's going to be one of those types of days. So I say we get right into it, Stu. I know you got us ready for the NBA. I'll let you take us away first, and then I'll kind of talk a little bit college basketball.
Sounds good. Yeah, I had like a bunch of stuff I wanted to talk about, but it's all been kind of all over the place in terms of price. But I think this is going to be my favorite look of the day. We got Miles McBride and Quentin Grimes to both record a steal. This is over on FanDuel, and you can also get it on ESPN. DraftKings, unfortunately, does not post steal props anymore. Like they post a couple. You get like 2 guys per team, but maybe as we get closer to lock, they'll toughen up a little bit. But yeah, over on FanDuel right now. One, I'll start with McBride, or actually I'll start with Grimes, just because Grimes has the lower odds. He's theoretically like the tougher leg of this parlay. The guy's been like crushing this number recently. 3 steals last game, 2 before that, a steal before that, 3 games. Like has more games since joining this team with 2 or 3 steals than he does with 0. Like the consistency's been there, the effort's been there. And they did warn about minutes recently, about like possibly monitoring his minutes, and he played 39 minutes. So, and also like Justin Justin Edwards, the guy that they left off the list of names that they were going to monitor his minutes. That guy played like 11. So who knows what's going on with those rotations? I would say it's pretty unpredictable, but I think what we can all agree on is that Grimes is by far playing the best basketball of his career. Like he's getting an opportunity to showcase his skill set, and this team sucks. I don't know why they wouldn't just continue to let him do that. And a big part of that has been his defensive versatility. Now, when we look at the other side, once again, a guy that's put up more 2 and 3 steal games than 0 since coming over this team, a lot of consistency, especially in the last 5 games, over and 4 of his last 5. I don't care what any number says because you can't actually quantify this. This is going to be the best matchup in the league. Look at the Raptors roster. The comment, Rose Runner, Raptors, Philly, tank off of the century. Scotty Barnes is the only starter that might even play, and he's questionable. And with everyone quickly, all these guys already ruled out, I don't know why Barnes would even play. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even the whole starting roster is out. Like, we're literally talking about Jamal Shed as like your point guard 1, and people are betting his 6.5 assists today. If that guy's gonna make like 70 passes and have like 14, 15 potential assists, like I love that. Like, we're not talking about like going up against the Trae Youngs of the world, whatever. These are like full-on backup rookie rosters that you're going up against, which when you talk about miscommunications, when you talk about easy steals, easy mistakes in transition, that's the exact kind of matchup you want to target, like young, inexperienced players. And Grimes has been crushing it recently. I see no reason why he wouldn't go over in this number, especially with what I'm imagining will be literally the sloppiest game of the year. Like I watched a lot of ugly basketball, but these 2 teams have pretty much X'd out their starting rosters. I mean, Philly barely even has, they have a better injury report than they do starting lineup right now at this point in the season. So I just think this is going to be an ugly, messy game. I think Grimes does have some good ladder potential. Unfortunately, the pricing reflects that. It's only plus 178 for 2 steals and then plus 580 for 3, which I feel like those prices should be a little bit better. So maybe another book post them, and they will be. But I do think he has a lot of potential. As for McBride, Miles McBride, anytime I can get 1 steal under like minus 500, I'm going to play it. He's one of the most consistent guys around on the defensive side of the ball. That was obviously kind of his calling card coming into the league. And yeah, he's consistent. Every time the guy plays 30 minutes, he's averaging 1.5 steals per game. He rarely gets these kind of opportunities without Brunson, but when Brunson isn't there, look at the bench. Look at the bench on the Knicks. Is Cam Payne going to play 25 minutes? No. Is Shamit going to play even 15 minutes? No. They don't have any depth whatsoever. And if there's one thing we know about the Knicks, they're going to have those starters out there as long as need be. And I think Portland's been a great matchup to target for steals. I love my guy Denny, but they do let a lot of different guys play make, which can create some of those opportunities, especially when you're getting down there in transition. Miles McBride had a couple easy steals last game. And yeah, I was watching him just going like, of course, I'm going to bet a steals next game. Like anytime I can get McBride in that kind of situation, I'm going to do it. Unfortunately, last game, it wasn't listed anywhere except Bet365, but thankfully FanDuel manned up a little bit this time and listed him at a worse number, but we'll take it. So yeah, anytime, I talked about with Caruso, there's certain guys with steals. Like I'm going to play Miles McBride anytime it's somewhat playable right here with the minutes he's going to get. And then now the opportunity against a solid Portland team. Like I get there's a little bit of juice in this one, but I think both of these guys are, very, very likely to record a steal tonight.
Beautiful. And I know that these guys you actually like. I actually hate the guy that I'm betting on. I hate watching this guy I'm betting on, but I'm going to still do it and play him yet again. I'm going to go to Hunter Dickinson. He made the thumbnail today. It was gross clicking that button to put him on the screen here. But hey, money's money, man. We gotta get after it when we can. And I've played this guy against UCF twice this year, and he's cashed both times. They moved the number up 2. I had at 28.5 in their last matchup, and he ended up hitting it. But there's just I don't trust this UCF team's front court. Their front court is garbage. We'll just look at their top 7 guys in terms of minutes. Top 7 guys in terms of minutes are all guards except for one. And the one guy is a freshman, a 7'2" freshman who they're playing at the center position. And this is what really sucks for these guys is they just really struggle grabbing defensive rebounds, right? They allow like the 8th most offensive rebounds per game in the country. I mean, what more could you ask for a matchup here with Hunter Dickinson? Like Hunter Dickinson is unbelievably consistent. Obviously, you look at, I mean, you can go, I don't even know. I think he has 2 games this year under 10 points. One of them that his team scored 57. He got in foul trouble against Iowa State and their team fell apart. You look at his matchup with Houston, he went for 17 and 12 and fouled out. Went for 18 and 9 against an elite Texas Tech defense. Right now, you're going to have a free game, man. Like this game is going to be wide open. Obviously, the total indicates that. And I'm looking at these other guys on his team, right? And mind you, I like this team. I like Zeke Mayo. I really liked him a lot more in the Summit League. But he's been really inconsistent. It's like double-digit score last game. 3 games before that, under 10 points, right? It's just like you can't have that in these bigger games. And you look at like a guy like KJ Adams, their 3rd leading scorer. Again, he's been hot the last 4 games, but prior to that, not much. 4, 4, 6. And then obviously against Colorado, 15, 21 against Tech, 15 against Houston. But obviously he's shooting hot right now. He's shooting very, very hot from the field. He's not shooting any threes. And I think that's the only other guy going to be doing pretty well tonight. So I like KJ Adams in this spot as more of the slasher type, but Dickinson, man, this should be his game. He should do whatever he wants here. Obviously, Kansas needs to get a couple wins. I think the difference between them making a run here and them losing one of these first 2 games is you're probably getting like a 6, right? Like a 5, 6, 7 seed here. You don't want to be down there, man. You want to get like that 4. You want to get that 13 matchup because once you get to those, every year 5-12s, right? There's always a 5-12 that goes down. The 6-11 is usually the spots that we're looking at for upsets every single year because it's just a tough spot. So really like this spot for Dickinson to kind of just say, show him out, man, because there's no size. I'm really worried about this team on the offensive glass in terms of UCF allowing Hunter Dickinson pretty much to do whatever he wants in the paint. I looked at it, and they are, just so you can get the numbers, they are 353rd out of 364 teams in terms of offensive rebounding allowed. So tough spot, man. I think that Dickinson just absolutely shreds these dudes, and obviously upside on both sides, as we've seen in the 2 matchups. He had a 7 rebound game and scored 24 points. Obviously hits this number. He's also had a 27 and 9, but in his last four games, we've seen a 13 and a 12 rebound game. So I think Dickinson does his thing. Let's do it.
All right. For me, I have on like my offshore book, I have 20.5 points and I have 10.5 rebounds. I assume points is better, right? If you can't play the combo.
Yes. Or I mean, maybe what's double at?
Not available. Only points, rebounds, assists, and threes for me.
Oof. Can you pull down at all? Like, how far can you pull down on points?
No. This is college basketball, brother. Offshore.
Really? I have an offshore college basketball, and they let you pull down. It's just the odds are kind of garbage.
Yeah, it depends on where you're betting at. But yeah, no, but it's like 20 points solid at least, like half unit kind of thing, or.
Yeah. I think I'm curious what the double is as well, because I know his rebounds is plus money at 10.5. But I just think that he could score 30 points tonight. It's very possible. So obviously like the combo a little bit more, but If you had to play anything, I'd play points in this spot for sure.
Yeah, no, I'm excited to get a little, watch a little bit more college. It's that time of year where everyone's trying. I mean, they're always trying, but now it matters a lot. We got March, we're in March, but we got March Madness coming up in a week or so. So I'm excited, man. I'm excited.
Perfect. Let's get a quick recap here. We got 20 guys and gals in the chat with us. We appreciate you. If you got any questions, drop them in there. We'll try our best to get to them. We're going to move through these and get a quick recap and see if we got some long shots.
Sounds good. Yep. Played Miles McBride and Quentin Grimes to both record a steal. That's -140 over on FanDuel ESPN. And yeah, I do like both of them for like 2 steals. I'll probably toss a little bit of money on that, like plus money each one. If one of them gets 2 steals, you walk away with a couple bucks.
Beautiful. And I'm on Hunter Dickinson over 30.5 points plus rebounds at -111. Unfortunately, you don't really get many long shot opportunities in college basketball props betting. It's just kind of the way it is. But definitely like the spot. If you do have the opportunity to bet the ladder on points, I definitely would do it.
Yeah, and I mean, I feel like college, the props you don't really get much, but I feel like underdog money lines.
For sure, yeah, you get a lot of
because every day you see some crazy stuff, even as someone that barely follows it. So
awesome, Stu. You got any long shots catching your eye? I know we kind of talked a little bit before the show about a spot that was sticking out. Just obviously looking for better prices.
Yeah, I like my guy Bogdanovic tonight. You can get 4 threes at plus 290 on Bet365 right now. I think he can go over this number with Kawhi Leonard, who has only played 1 double-double this year and currently is not on the injury report. So I think that's obviously very live. But then if he's ruled out, then this suddenly becomes like a really good spot. So for me, I think that alone makes it worth a bet, where I think just right now at this even value. One of my other things, once again, last night, Zubac opened at 20.5 points, which is like so fucking high for a guy that only scores in the paint and is going up against Bam Adebayo and then Khalil Ware as well. Like, man, it's bet down to like 17, 18 now in most spots. I still kind of like the under, even at 18.5, honestly. But I think that's the middle ground with Leonard. I think that original line was kind of thinking, okay, Kawhi is obviously going to sit. He doesn't really play back-to-backs. And then suddenly, he's not on the injury board. Okay, we got to bring that line down a little bit. So I think that might be what's going on there. But yeah, the Zubac under was really tempting to me. They limit points in the paint well. They play very good individual defense. They're going to have Davion Mitchell out there harassing James Harden as much as possible. So who's James Harden going to kick it out to? It's going to be Bogdan. Then it's going to be like Batum. And what's the guy's name? Derek Jones.
You think Batum plays tonight? He played a lot of minutes, and he's old, man. Like, yeah, that's the guy I kind of thought might sit because he's old.
He plays a very like not low effort, but like he doesn't like put a huge amount of wear and tear on his body, to be fair. Like he's kind of like the Larry Nance Jr. kind of guy where he's very good at like a lot of different things, good defender, but he's not out there like sprinting up and down the court like crazy. But I see what you mean. He could, and that would help us, obviously. Derek Jones Jr. has been surprisingly good this year, but I mean, he takes like 8 shots a game. You know what I mean? Like there's not any scoring competition here. So for me, I mean, this is a great individual defense they're going up against. It's a good paint defense. And I think there's going to be a lot of 3-point opportunities. And Bogdan is obviously the guy that kind of fits that bill the best. And once again, if Kawhi's out, I really, really like his upside tonight, even as a scorer in general. So, yeah, the second biggest option on the team in terms of points is Zubac. And I really think that's a good under spot right there. So just a lot of potential to go over this one with different avenues.
For sure. Definitely. And I think there's going to be some late news, bro. There's going to be some injury maintenance, something coming out. I don't know who it's going to be, but like the nice part is you already got Powell out, right? That's a huge guy. I love Norman Powell for points always, but I know it's going to be people are going to laugh at it, but having no Ben Simmons is actually important, bro, because that dude can fucking just muck up some shit. Like this minutes wise, not that he's going to be shooting threes and taking Bogdan's spot out there, but like 25 minutes of a guy who's pretty heavy usage when he's out there, dude. He's running the ball up and down. And I know no one likes to say it, but Ben Simmons hasn't been bad when he's gotten out there and actually played like a 20 to 24 minute role. He's been really good. So him being out is obviously another thing on top of it, that if we do get another guy out, what's that, 4 dudes in the rotation that'll be sitting.
Yeah, 100%. And hey, if there's any team that's gonna mess with you with a late injury report, oh boy, it's the Clippers. They and actually the Heat. Funnily enough, we were just talking about as well. Both of those teams will absolutely fuck you with that injury report. So the good thing is, I just think it's not going to be Bogdan. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think he's the guy that. And if he sits, okay, that's fine. You get your money back. You know, so. Definitely like the spot right there. And yeah, surprisingly excited for tonight's slate. I know we only had 1 play each, but it's very hard. We were talking before the show. It's very hard to bet the NBA this early in the day at this point in the year. Like very, very hard. So I'm liking our 1 play each system. It's been doing better, limiting some of that variance.
Yeah, it just makes things like tough, man. It makes it very tough to I don't know really the word to describe it, but like to be like on top of it, you need to have injury reports. Like it's just,
yep.
That's why I play DFS pretty much only strictly on the Friday, Saturdays, because I can't do it during the week because you need to be on your phone like around that time. It just does not work otherwise.
Yep, 100%. And same for betting too. I mean, it kind of benefits you if you're just able to be on your phone and react to that news really quickly. You know, I've done it on the show a couple times with these early report, the first run that comes around. You know, if you're just there and you can take advantage, it's kind of a blessing and a curse, you know?
For sure. Stu, anything else for the people here before we head out today?
No, I mean, make sure you're following over on Twitter. I'll try to get a couple plays out, obviously, closer to lock once we get a little bit more news. And yeah, make sure you're following me over on Instagram at Monotone. I don't remember either betting or football, one of those two. I change it too much. But yeah, make sure to follow over there. I'm posting more stuff. I like Instagram. It's fun. They don't send you like crazy like divisive messaging all day long, you know, like Twitter. Like it's just so much more chill over there. So I want to keep on making those videos, and I'll keep making them even if no one goes over there, but I'd appreciate it if you do.
Yes, sir. We will be back Friday. We'll discuss that. I believe it should be regular time, regular scheduled programming. So should be fun. Make sure you guys follow both of us over on X, Twitter, whatever it's called now. And obviously follow Stu over on YouTube as well. I know he's got his channel rolling again too. So have a good one, guys. Best of luck tonight, and we'll catch you Friday.